What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video on my channel. And today, though, I'm going to come into another video and probably just reacting or going to be discussing of all the games that just went down today, the conference championships, and what's going to probably happen the next day, which basically they're going to be announcing the final, who's on the, the final, who's on the college football playoffs, and also the rest of the bowl game. Well, not all the minor ones, but probably the major ones that we're probably going to be seeing later on in that. And pretty much that we're going to be and we're going to be predicting as well. So what first things first, we're going to be probably discussing the conference championship games, all that, and how it's going to affect them. So what's fun? Without further ado, let's get to it. So the first game we watched was the MAC championship game, Northern Illinois versus Buffalo. Really, though, there's never much to say about it. I don't think this is not going to affect the playoffs in really any way for them, because basically you're just not really going to expect any teams to make the playoffs, because the playoff committee, the committee has always just thinking any team in the MAC conference does not deserve to really be in the top 25 at the beginning or anything. It's something I don't understand about that. It's very weird, but they're just thinking they may not be good. I can understand that, though. But sometimes you gotta take into consideration at the least, maybe because they're not really playing a good schedule, like a weak schedule and a weak conference. But they got to this point, though. But either way, though, both those teams do got a bowl game. I can't think what bowl game Northern Illinois gets at the least, so that's something you gotta kind of consider about. So we'll figure that out later on. The next championship we're talking about is Utah versus Washington. I won't say in a way, but in a way it could really not affect it, but it could affect it at the same time. I'm not sure if that makes sense or not. But you gotta think, but these teams are so really damn close in the top, they're in the top 25, but they're so close in the top 10. And we'll say Washington get the win, but I don't think that's enough for them to get into the playoffs at the least. USC, I think they won it last year, and they got pretty damn close. They got there, but it just wasn't enough for them, though. They obviously never with Pac-12 champions in there much. I think last one was, in fact, it was Washington last time. So, but though it's not enough for them to get into the playoffs, because Washington, there's something about it. I don't know why Washington's ranked 11th. Utah was ranked 17th. I'm surprised I thought Utah was going to win, though, but it just never happened. But I'm not mad about it, though. But like I said, I don't think this is going to affect the playoffs much. But, Washington's going to probably get a better bowl game at the least. All right, the next game we're talking about will be Texas versus Oklahoma. This one, this has a chance to affect it at least. This could. And seeing it, this was a hell of a good game, no doubt about it. Oklahoma did win; they got the revenge. And really, why do we say this? Though that tonight there was a rematch. Holy right over here! It was a lot of rematches that we've just seen, either last season or this season. This one was the Red River rematch, and honestly, I'm glad this. This game has always been good between these two. They've always been good. I will wish I would have seen Texas win it. That would be amazing. Though I'm not mad at Oklahoma winning. But so then, though, Oklahoma now have a chance. They can go into the playoffs, and they'll probably, I won't say become national champions, but they'll probably get to the playoffs at the least. So we'll see how it happens there. All right, next one we're talking about is the Sun Belt Championship. Again, this was not going to affect the playoffs whatsoever, but I'm just thinking, I don't know, this was a really good game. But I guess, in the end, Apple, you got to give the Sun Belt champion anything now, I guess. Now what I've heard, what I just saw, Boise State just got in the New Orleans Bowl, which that's going to be, early. This is going to be early in the bowl season. That's going to be interesting. But we don't know who they're facing yet, so who knows? But okay, this one was the AAC championship game. This could somewhat affect it now because UCF, they just beat Memphis. They just came back and won. And so it's hard to figure out this. Now the community's got to think about it. They not only though they're gonna look at the rankings where they were at right now, and then they're gonna look probably at the strength of schedule. They're probably gonna look at that at least and it's like, okay. I'm gonna talk about this later up, but I'm just thinking they're gonna look at it. It's like, oh, you see, it's gonna look at this kind of schedule. They may not be in it. Who knows about that? Well, like I said, we'll talk about this later on, boys. So, the next one is the SEC championship. This one should definitely. I have found this could affect it also, however, because though you really don't think you have a college football players without an SEC champion, because it is every year. Alabama is always in it, so they're always SEC champions whatsoever. Except last year, Georgia was the SEC champion, but Alabama still won it though that year. Oh well. But, this was a really hell of a good game. Even though they want Bama to win, this was a hell of a good game. No doubt about it. So, I'm gonna still talk about playoffs a little bit later on, but I was saying this one could have factored into the playoffs. Okay, then we have the ACC championship game. This one could have an effect for Clemson. I always said Clemson because Pittsburgh, they're not even ranked, so I don't think they're going to be out of the equation. But though, it's something about Clemson could... what something happens though Clemson, if they lose, what happens then later on? Who knows? But that's... The committee's got to think about that. I don't know why I keep talking about the playoffs. I want to talk about it later on, but this game could have a potential in that as well. And we got the Mountain West Championship. Again, this one has no effect at all. But they were both ranked though. But this is the only game that hasn't win in overtime. I guess. Does that make it good for me? In my opinion, somewhat. But I don't know. But it's still not as affecting it. And we got the Big Ten Championship. It has the potential. Like, I feel like the last game of the night, one was tired, but you got to think about this. This one could have kind of a little potential in the playoffs. What could happen that way? How it's going to go down. It just affects on one team, though. It's just, you had only pay attention to one team. It's like that ACC championship game. You pay attention to one team that could make it, and just do not pay attention to the other one. You only pay attention to this team. That's like me. That's how I see it that way. Alright, now we're about to be discussing who is going to go into the playoffs, and we'll probably predict the bowl games as well. We're getting it two out of here. I think we have the Orange Bowl and the Cotton Bowl. So let's get it out. I'm not saying, I'll probably say who gets what seed at the least. The number one seed, obviously, it has to be Alabama because, like I was saying, I hate Bama, but though they're the only undefeated team that's right beside Clemson that we have seen. But why is Bama getting over Clemson? They're both undefeated. Well, though Bama, you gotta look at their strength of schedule. That's what I see it. They're probably in a better conference. Well, obviously. They're in a better conference, though. And also, they may have some of these non-conference games. They're not good at all. They're never good. As we see, they had Louisville losing out. It was one of the Louisiana teams. Then you had the Citadel. And you just have these other teams, though. But, though, you gotta look at those conference games. It's a tough one. And then you look... The second seed is Clemson, because they're also now undefeated as well. Why they get the number 2 seed? Well, basically, they are undefeated as well. They're getting there. But, though, they're not getting the 1 seed. Well, it's because it's their strength of schedule. They do not really get a conference. There's not really been... not really been getting good teams now. The good, there were teams that was good, now they're not good. It's Florida State and then Louisville. Those are examples right there. It's just, there's only a one-time deal. It's probably just the only one-time players. Kind of looking at Lamar Jackson, Jameis Winston, and all those other players. It's just like that. And then if you lose those players, they're going to be going just like that. They'll be out of the potential. It's like that. It's crazy looking at it. With these other teams, They have always been good. They've always been good every year. It's kind of like Bama. It's now kind of like Clemson's, all like that. The number 3 seed, who am I thinking? I would have to give it to Notre Dame. I don't know what it is. Notre Dame, yes, they're not in the conference. They don't know a conference champion, but though I feel like they have suffered one loss. I may be wrong about that one. I'll have to check that later on. So, but they have been really impressive. And I am surprised about that. They have been really impressive. In my opinion, I feel like they done so well. So we're gonna see how it goes for them. I feel like they don't got nothing else now. I feel like they've shown what they got. They're always gonna be probably the best team. Let's see, the number 4 seed. It's gonna be tough. It's now looking to be tough now. I'm going to have to say. I'll have to say Oklahoma. And the reason about this, though, why I'm saying Oklahoma, is because, one, though, I mean, well, yeah, here's the thing. I had 2 choices. I would say 3, but there's 2 at the least. And I could do 3, but, though, the committee is going to leave it to 2. And it'll be between Oklahoma and Ohio State. If I was a committee, I would leave those 2 sections. There was Oklahoma, and there was Ohio State. Both just won the conference games, championship games. Both only suffered 1 loss. But however, though, Oklahoma just suffered that loss to a ranked team, which was Texas. And then Ohio State suffered to a non-ranked team in Purdue by 29 points. And one of the devastating losses I've ever seen. I think Ohio State was ranked 2, and then they just lost. But they were back in the race. What they think. And I don't think they're probably not going to get in the playoffs just because I think they have lost their chance to get in the playoffs. If they were lost to a ranked team, maybe there's a good chance that could happen. But they have lost their chance to be in there. So that sucks looking at it. And I think they barely just got by Maryland as well. They just barely got by. But though if they would have beat if they would have lost to Maryland, Michigan would have got the spot. I think we would see Michigan in the playoffs. But no, this is it. So the 5th seed would have to get Ohio State, and then the 6th seed will be shockingly surprising in my opinion will be UCF. What's to say? UCF's undefeated. Come on, you have to feel like if you want to top of the playoff spots, you have to put UCF in conversation. They've been undefeated for at least now 2 seasons. Just one more, and they'll be like, they've been undefeated for 2 seasons now. It's crazy. I was still, I thought they were probably, at first when I looked at it, I thought they were going to lose Memphis. They came, but somehow they came back and won. Good for them. So, but, is it enough? Is it enough, though? That's the thing. It's tough. But now, when I'm looking at it, it's going to be hard now when you go in the playoffs when you're probably against, Bama, Clemson, Notre Dame. When I saw the defense the first half, you got to think about that. That defense gave up 31 points in the first half. And you got to think about how many points they're going to give up when they face, Bama and them. So it's going to be hard about it. But they'll find a way, hopefully. Let's see, man. You got to talk about the bowl games. The Peach Bowl, obviously Washington's in it. Washington they clinched it. They're now in it. And then there's the Big Ten, which it's always going to be now. When I said the Big Ten, we're probably going to have to be Washington. Not Washington, but Ohio State. Ohio State's going to be in there. So, but Ohio State has been in there before. But face USC. I'm going to say hell of a good game last year, though. And I'm thinking this is going to be a good one as well. Next one would have to be, let's see, Sugar Bowl. I believe. SEC. I guess you got to put Georgia in there. I don't know. You just got to put Georgia. Yeah, Bama's in it. Georgia's probably Georgia's the runner-up. So there you go. It's like Auburn last year. So, the Big 12. They they did UCF, which is... Oh, no, because Auburn and UCF faced each other in one different bowl game. Because the Sugar Bowl was part of the playoffs, so... And then they had the Big 12. Okay, so... Obviously, so basically they're going to have... If I put Oklahoma in there, I have to put the runner-up in it, which will be Texas. That's going to be interesting. That's going to be an interesting game to watch. I think I'll watch that. The Fiesta Bowl, I think it's going to be an ACC game, probably. I'm probably say Pittsburgh being that one. I don't know what it is. I don't know why I thought Pittsburgh. Well, they're the runner-up. That's how I say it. But they're probably going to put a ranked team in there. I want to say UCF. They'll put UCF in that one. Just why not? That would be pretty cool. And then... God, this is very... I haven't even looked at it much. I say Michigan. That's be an interesting one. That'll be an interesting one to watch. You think about it. You gotta think about that. How do you think of UCF versus Michigan? That is going to be the true test. If UCF is just that team, you think about it. If they beat Michigan, I feel like it's going to get the committee talking. It's going to get people talking as well about it. It will get them talking. No doubt about it. And I think it's like the only bowl games I can just think of off the top of my head that... Oh, that's probably it. So, guys, though, I want to say thank you guys for probably watching this video. Tomorrow, probably I think they'll start having they'll announcing the playoff and the bowl games. Around noon, to say the least, and hopefully I get this video up before then. We'll see. Anyway, guys, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. See ya.